Okay, so now we have the Unit 8 practice day. So we're going to take all the 3D shapes we've talked about and put them together into one day now. It's going to be I don't want to say a long day, but your brain might feel kind of jumbled. But that's the purpose of doing this today and the review tomorrow. So on your test, you won't feel all. You'll actually know what you're doing. Okay, so now that I've got that little craziness out of my system, let's get started. On these, they're gonna, like we've been doing the past week, they're gonna ask you to find lateral area, total surface area, and volume. As we do it, let's also name the shapes. Let's make sure we name the shapes, that way we know what we're dealing with here. So for this first one, what shape is this? This is a rectangular prism. So for the prisms, our formulas are, just let me back up, I even talked about formulas. For the prisms, we need three things we said. We're going to need P, which remember that's the perimeter of the base. So let's find that right quick. P. Well, it's the one, if I were to draw like where you could see kind of in the background, and I can't draw, so we'll see how this goes. Our base would be the one that's down here. So one it's sitting on if it's a rectangle. So that means this side is 14, that side's 7. Perimeter, we add them all up. So 14 plus 7 plus 14 plus 7. And that'll give us 42. There's our P. Then we need B. So the area of the rectangle would be 7 times 14, which gives us 98. Then we need H. The height of the prism is 8 inches. We've got the three things we need, so we're good to go now. Let's see, lateral surface area. Our formula here is pH. So perimeter is 42. Height is 8. So we'll say 42 times 8, which is 336 inches squared. That's what we'll write up here. 336 inches squared. Now we need total surface area. Remember, that's pH plus 2b. So P we said was 42, H was 8, and then B was 98. We add all that together, we get 532 inches squared. So total surface area is 532 inches squared. And then we need volume. Volume is just BH. So B is 98, H is 8, which means we need to do 98 times 8. That will get us 784 inches cubed. So let's write our answer up here. 784 inches cubed. Okay, there we go. There's number 1. Number 2, let's name it first. First step, name it. This is a triangular prism. How do I know it's a triangular prism? Because we have this base right here. It's the only side that's not a rectangle. Okay, so let's start. We need P, B, and H. Let's do P. It's going to be 8 plus 6 plus, stop. I don't know this side right here. Oh, I'm not even going to put H. I don't know that side. So I'm going to have to use the Pythagorean Theorem to get it. 6 squared plus 8 squared equals x squared. 6 squared is 36. 8 squared is 64. Combine those together, you get 100. Square root the 100, and we get 10. So this side over here is 10. Now I can get P. So 8 plus 6 plus 10. Add those together and we get 24. Then I need the area of my base. The base is a triangle. So remember, for a triangle, we have to do 1/2 BH. And this H is the height of the triangle, not the prism. So 1/2 of 8 times 6. Who'd have thunk it? That'll also be 24. And then we need, for the height of the prism, we need the number we've forgotten about, it seems. 14. So we have all 3 pieces. We can start plugging in now. So for LA, lateral area, we do, remember, pH. So perimeter is 24, H is 14. 24 times 14, 336 centimeters squared. So that's our lateral area. 336 centimeters squared. Now we need total surface area. So pH plus 2B. It's going to be 24 times 14 plus 2 times 24. That'll be 384 centimeters squared. So let's write that up here, 384 centimeters squared. And then last but not least, for this one, volume. Volume is BH. So B is 24, H is 14. 24 times 14 is 336 centimeters cubed, because we're doing volume. So 336 centimeters cubed. Okay, I'm gonna kind of insert some lines here so that way this doesn't get all a jumbled mess. Okay. Like I said, I just don't want this to become a jumbled mess. So let's kind of separate it. Okie dokie. Now, so we did triangular, we did the prisms basically. We did rectangular prism, we did triangular prism. Now let's look at cylinders. And notice it says for question 3, leave our answer in terms of pi. So for this question, we're going to leave our answer in terms of pi. Okay, for a cylinder, what things do we need? We need R, and we need H. So we don't need 3 things. We need 2. R and H. Let's see, radius. They give me diameter here, so I have to divide diameter by 2. So 20 divided by 2 gives me 10. There's my R. Then for the height, they tell me that's 14. So I have everything I need to start solving. So let's see, LA. It's going to be 2 pi R times H. So 2 pi, R is 10, H is 14. Since we want it in terms of pi, we put everything in but the pi. So this will give us 280 pi centimeters squared. So there's our lateral area, 280 pi centimeters squared. Then we need total surface area. So 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. So 2 pi times 10 times 14 plus 2 pi times 10 squared. So again, in terms of pi, so we put everything in the calculator but the pi's. No pi for you. So that'll get us 480 pi centimeters squared. That's our total surface area. And last but not least, volume. So for a cylinder, volume, the formula they'll give you is BH. But what do we really know the base is on a cylinder? It's a circle. So we can turn this into pi r squared times h. It's going to be pi times 10 squared times height. So this will be 1400 pi centimeters cubed. There's our volume. 1400 pi centimeters cubed. Okay, so we're cruising right along. We've done prisms. Now we have named, or we have looked at cylinders. Now let's look at number 4. Number 4 is a square pyramid. So this side is also going to be 18 meters. Okay, for a square pyramid, one thing we need is perimeter. It's one of our important pieces. So for perimeter, it's a square, which means you can do 4 times 18. So 4 times 18 is 72. Then we need the area of the base. So that's big B. I have 18 squared, which is 324. Then we're going to need the height. Did they give that to us? They do. 24 is our height, but they do not give us slant height. So we're going to have to use our Pythagorean theorem to help us get slant height. To do that, we take half of this 18 right here and say, oh, okay, that's 9. So then we can say 24 squared plus 9 squared equals L squared. Well, I'm saying this is L. 24 squared is 576 plus 81 squared is, sorry, 9 squared is 81. And then we add these 20, or I can't even talk now. 576 plus 81 gives you 657 equal to L squared. Square root it, and does that give you a nice square root? No. So we're going to leave L as the square root of 657. We're just going to leave it like that. Okay, now we have everything we need. We have the 4 items that we need, so we can start plugging in. For lateral area, it's going to be 1/2 PL. So 1/2, perimeter is 72. Slant height, well, that was that ugly square root. Square root is 657. And when we do this, let's do it to the nearest hundredth. So it's going to be 2 decimal places. So this will be 922.75 meters squared. 922.75 meters squared. Okay, now we need total surface area. That's going to be 1/2 PL plus B. So 1/2 times 72 times our ugly square root plus B plus 324. Again, we're going to round this to 2 decimal places. So that'll be 1,246.75 meters squared. So 1,246.75 meters squared. And last but not least on this one, volume. So volume is going to be 1/3 BH. So 1/3 B is 324. H is 24. That's going to be 2,592 meters cubed. Okay, so now we've done pyramids. We're just moving right along, Number 5. What shape is number 5? It's a cone. It's a cone. So for a cone, we only really need 3 things. We need the radius. So did they give that to us? Yeah, boy. Radius is 9. Did they give us the normal height? Nope. What about the slant height? Slant height's 15. So we have to find the normal height. That's going to be 8 squared plus 9 squared equals 15 squared. So 9 squared is 81. 15 squared is 225. And then we need to subtract these. So you'll get 8 squared equals 144. Square root it, and you get that H is 12. There we go. H is 12. Hot diggity. Now, on these, they ask us to leave our answer in terms of pi. So again, we can't touch pi. On this one or the next one. The lateral area of a cone, it is pi RL. So we'll do pi, radius is 9, L is 15. 9 times 15 is 135 pi. And then we're going to have feet squared. There's our lateral area. 135 pi feet squared. Then we need total surface area. So that's going to be pi RL plus pi R squared. It's going to be pi times 9 times 15 plus pi times 9 squared. Again, we want to type everything in but the pi. So 9 times 15 plus 9 squared. That'll get us 216 pi feet squared. 216 pi feet squared. And last but not least, we've got volume. So volume is 1/3 BH. But remember, we can take this B, since our base is a circle, and turn it into 1/3 pi R squared times H. That's going to be 1/3 pi. R is 9 squared times 12. That's going to be 324 pi feet cubed. Okay, now for the next one. I want to do something here for a second. Hang on, y'all. Okay, there we go. I gave myself some working room here. Okay, so for a sphere, hey, they named that one for us. Thank you. Again, we want it in terms of pi, but remember, for a sphere, you only need one thing. You need to know the radius, and they tell us that's 12. So for the surface area, we do 4 pi R squared. It's going to be 4 pi times 12 squared, which is 576 pi feet squared. So that's what we'll write in our answer spot. 576 pi feet squared. And for volume, wrong color. Volume. We need to do 4/3 pi R cubed. So 4/3 pi, radius is 12 cubed. Okay, we put everything but the pi in the calculator, we'll get 2304 pi feet cubed. So 2,304 pi feet cubed is our volume. Okay, that's it for number 6. Now number 7. They ask us to find the volume of a pyramid. So let's stop here and write our formula for the volume of a pyramid. Volume of a pyramid is 1/3 BH, whose base is a square with sides of 6 inches and whose height is 10 inches. Okay, so I need H. Well, they tell me that. They tell me H is 10. This one says we have a square where all the sides are 6. So how can I get the B then? I'll do 6 squared, which is 36. So this 1/3 BH will turn into 1/3 36 times 10, which is 120 inches cubed. So our volume is equal to 120 inches cubed. We didn't have to do too much on that one. It just had volume, so we're done. That's it. Okay, and then number 8, find the volume of a pyramid. So I'm going to write that formula down again. That's my goal. Volume 1/3 BH, whose base is an equiangular triangle and whose height is 8 centimeters. So they tell me the height. They tell me the height is 8 centimeters. The bases have a side of 4 centimeters. So we have this equiangular triangle. Remember, equiangular also means equilateral. All of these have sides of 4 centimeters. So I need to find the area of this base. That's what that big B is, remember? Big B is area of the base. So I need to find this area. But to do that, I'm going to need this height right here. I need the height of my triangle. So let's do this. I know it goes straight down the middle. So I know this. Undo. Come back. I know this is 2 and this is 2. Well, we could use special right triangles, but I'm going to bet that y'all probably forgot those. So let's just use the Pythagorean Theorem. So I'm going to focus only on this triangle right here. That's it. So let's see here. We're going to have, when I turn this into a normal pen, we're going to have 2 squared plus x squared equals 4 squared. 2 squared is 4. 4 squared is 16. Let's subtract them. So we're going to get that x squared is equal to 12. If I take the square root of that, that's not going to give me a nice number. So I'm just going to say that's the square root of 12. So this one's the square root of 12. So I need to find the area now of this triangle here. Together, this side is 4. So to get big B, I'm going to do 1/2 of 4 times the square root of 12. Which would get me, I'm going to go out to like 6 decimal places because they asked me to round to the nearest 10th. So, yeah, actually, you know what? Back up. We need to remember something here. We need to remember how to simplify radicals. So what multiplies to give you 12? 3 times 4, and 4 breaks up to 2 times 2. So this, the couples go out on a date, the single stays home. So our height here is really, we can say that as 2 square roots of 3. Yeah, we need to remember how to do that. So 2 square roots of 3. Okay, so the big B, we're not going to do the square root of 3 in the calculator. We're just going to do 1/2 times 4 times 2, which is going to give us 4 square roots of 3. That's our big B. So for volume, we do 1/3 times 4 square roots of 3 times 8. Good thing we have a calculator because this isn't going to be pretty. So we type all this in. We're going to get 18.4752, and it keeps going on for a while here. Okay, so our volume to the nearest 10th would be 18.5 centimeters cubed. I totally wrote that in the wrong color. We want to go to the nearest 10th. So volume is 18.5 centimeters cubed. Okay, so that's it for today. It's a practice day, which means your assignment looks almost exactly like the notes we just did. So hop to it. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me.